on that. You know what I'm saying? Because to say that he's doing too much, but you don't say like Megan Thee Stallion's doing too much, or you don't say like, you know, Cardi B doing too much, that's not fair.
But he's in his own lane. He's talking about his people. He's not talking about those
But
people.
he can't speak on behalf of everyone. Okay, so just as that guy has the right to say that Lil Nas X is doing too much, then another female can come out and say that Cardi B's doing too much.
Right.
But in that same vein, you know what I'm saying? They're allowed to do it because somebody could come up and be like, that's not too much. You wouldn't believe the stuff I be doing. I'll be putting like baseball bats in my ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So we in a real slippery slope right now, really what's going on around the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
and it's one of those things where I'll say it jokingly, but in a sense, I kind of feel it though. Like, these are the ends of times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if we go by the ridiculousness that was going down in the Bible, that's kind of some of the ridiculousness that's going down right now, especially in America.
You don't think that was going down in BC? Like,
yes,
after Christ, like, I bet you it was still going on.
Of course, it was still going on. Humans haven't done anything new, you know what I'm saying, since the beginning of time. We might have added some new technology and all this stuff, but people gonna be people since they've been people.
Right.
So, good morning, Zakia. Ooh, I can't wait to plug y'all today, Zakia. I'm so happy to plug Blended Harmony this morning. Turn up.
I want to be in the group.
That's my cousin. That's my cousin. You not my cousin. You got to be my cousin. That's my cousin. She married. Relax.
I'm married. I got cousins.
She's beautiful. We don't do cute.
I just want to just talk about life.
We don't do cute in our family. She beautiful. So wash your ass.
Well, honey, you must skip that line.
You lie. I know you. Even as you were saying that, you was like, I'm lying.
No, never.
Growl.
I know you see your baby pictures, be like, damn, I'm glad I grew up.
like, not the baby pictures. It's the in between pictures. It's the like from like the end of elementary school to like high school. I say, oh, turn up. But the baby picture was cute though. I was hella cute as a baby.
I don't think so.
You wasn't there.
I saw it.
You didn't see the baby pictures.
I did too.
The kid said she don't got no ugly cousins, so you wash your ass.
She be like that.
We don't have nobody ugly in our family. That's so you're so ignorant. Erica's in the building. Good morning, Erica. How you doing, Erica? You need to go sit on the toilet. Let that out. Sit on the toilet.
Why when you eat right, you get constipated? I don't understand it.
Maybe your body's holding on to it like, ooh, nutrients. I'm going to hold on to these nutrients. Oh, my God, nutrients.
Dude. Oh, man, I got a wake-up call. And I was looking. I went clothes shopping. How you say that? Shopping? I don't know. Was it
shopping. You did good. Keep it going.
Okay. And you know how the dressing room, they put the lights on you.
Word.
And I took my shirt off to try on the shirt. I seen the fat in my back from the front. I said, come on, man.
Wow.
This is ridiculous.
Morning, KK. Okay. KK's been telling me about my back fat too. She's like, you don't feel that line? I don't feel the back fat.
Oh man, it's bad.
I feel the muffin right here. I can feel the muffin.
And then I was dancing because I was trying to, humor myself so I didn't feel too bad. And I started dancing and my stomach started moving. I said, oh no.
When you were dancing, were you like, go fat boy? Go, fat boy.
No, Seven told me because he was in the dressing room with me. He said, put on your clothes, Dad. You're fat. That's when I really know.
Seven was like, Erica says she's excited for the church of Shawn today. Hey, he coined that phrase too, Erica. So you wrote that one, Erica. But yeah, so when he comes on today, because today we're talking about habits, good habits and how to break bad habits. So start thinking about questions and stuff you want to ask Shawn Antonio. I really want everybody to get in the habit of taking advantage while he's here. You know what I'm saying? So start thinking about habits, good habits, bad habits you might have that you're trying to break and all that. So turn up, get ready.
My auntie didn't come last week, huh?
No, she was busy. I guess.
She told us that?
No, I'm just guessing because normally she would be there.
This week?
Me too. Turn up.
I I like flowers.
KK, you didn't like the headphones? I put the headphones right
Hi,
there.
KK. Good morning, KK. Good morning, KK.
I was supposed to have turned off the mic to fix the background right now. I guess I turned off the mic instead. I mean the camera.
We need to pray for Camille right now.
Good morning.
Are you done now? I'm about to mute your mic.
You know me. I would take this joke real far. I would drive way out there and not be your car.
And it wouldn't even be to your drive home. You'd be like, "What the hell? Why did I?
Why am I doing that?
Why did I?" Oh man! So we got about 5 minutes before we drop the intro.
Oh, drop it. Tissue paper.
Good morning, Erica. Good morning, Zakia. Cheese. Erica's asking, what are you on today?
Cemex.
What do you, MF Doom? Rest in peace to MF Doom. Oh man.
I was about to do something really terrible. I had to catch myself.
I imagine. No man. Okay, so the internet strikes again with the premature announcement of the passing of Biz Markie. You know what I'm saying?
Oh god.
Right.
Even when you asked me, and I thought that Revolt was like a reliable source.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Shouldn't you take this off this thing here?
No, okay, because we don't start until 9:05. We've been doing this for a while now. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of crazy. I got to tell you that. And I just said that in 5 minutes. Then we'll drop the intro. So work with me now.
I didn't hear you. Was I here?
Yeah,
you
was probably going. Anyway, so I would think that Revolt is a reliable source, but now I have to look at it like, nah, son.
No.
They are trying to get the word out first, like Big Daddy Kane was saying. Don't try to be the first one to say it; just be the correct one to say it.
Amen.
Amen.
You should put that on the shirt.
That's the word of the day. Don't try to be the first. That Erica, I'm saying what Erica's saying. Until TMZ say it, it ain't real.
That's real talk, though. TMZ always.
As soon as it was mentioned, I went to Wikipedia, and at the first page did not say it, but when I clicked on the wiki and it went on it, I could have swore it said, his birthday and died on. And when I checked back like 10 minutes later, it was, I was like, I should have screenshot it or something because it was just gone. So maybe it was, but like you said, Wikipedia doesn't update their things that quickly. So maybe I just saw something.
Well, the thing about Wikipedia is that it's people that do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like the company Wikipedia. Anybody can go in and add or take away information from somebody's Wikipedia page, which that's dangerous. That's dangerous.
Crazy. That's very dangerous.
Cheese got a Wikipedia page, and they talk about how he don't wipe so good. I don't know who went on there and put that on there, but that's what they did. They put Cheese is not a good wiper.
I'm not a good wiper.
You
got to change my drawers every time.
You got to get better at your wipes. Because you be going back to front, getting doo-doo on your balls. You don't want that, Cheese. You don't want poopy balls.
You don't go back to front?
I used to, but then when I had the doo-doo balls, I didn't want to go around with the doo-doo balls. And then I kept getting dingleberries, too.
You don't go up. You don't have a vagina.
I do. I'll be like, hold on. Cheese, I go like this. Like I'm starting a lawnmower. That's how I get it fresh.
I'm glad you didn't do that on stage. You wouldn't got no laugh.
Ow! You got to work on it.
And you got up to do that, Joe.
I wanted you to see.
Energy.
I wanted you to see. There's Aunt Christie's in the building. There we go. Life is back to normal again.
Oh, me.
Wow. Life is back to normal. Aunt Christy, at what age did this start for him? Did he was it as soon as he was born? Was it as soon as he came out? Was it this kind of behavior? What how was it on Christy? Because I'm just, this dude is not of this planet.
This dude's not of this planet. Is that a compliment or a disrespect?
Me. All right, let's part of people. Cheesy, unique.
Yo. What's up? Yo, it's Unique and Cheese. Here we go. It's Unique and Cheese. Let's start the show. It's Unique and Cheese. Here we go. It's Unique and Cheese. Let's start the show.
That was cool, right?
Yes, that is cool. It is the Unique and Cheese Show. Thank you guys so much for joining us this morning. I am proud to announce that the Unique and Cheese Show is being brought to you by Blended Harmony. Blended Harmony is a beautiful blend of love, peace, and joy that gives your entire body the soothing nutrients only God can give. Giving you products for your skin care, hair care, beard care, and body butter for your body from your head to your toes. Big shout out to Blended Harmony. You can go to blendedharmony.net. Once again, that's blendedharmony.net. Hold on, let me put it on here real quick to make sure you see. There we go. Go to blendedharmony.net. And if you use the code UCShow for the Unique and Cheese Show, you get a discount on your product. So be sure to go to
going right
Harmony. Now you should. I ordered KK the lip gloss. Turned out, get the lip gloss popping. And I got the body butter too. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that our skin is
my
healthified.
body's telling me no.
So big shout out to my family, Baron, and my cousins, kids, for blendedharmony.net. So be sure to go there and use the code UCShow. Like for Unique and Cheese Show, it's UCShow. Blendedharmony.net. Turn up. Mr. Cheese, good morning. Miss KK, good morning. How y'all doing?
Good morning. I'm doing good, thank you. I'm up. Life is still happening. World is spinning around us, I guess. It's a good day.
Turn up.
How are you?
Are you the Dave Chappelle dancing thing? The guy doing the rubber? That's what it looks like. The Chappelle show. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It must be so hard for Camille to have conversations with you. This guy is absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, so just to give a disclaimer, today is the first Friday of the month, so the one and only Shawn Antonio will be in the building. We are going to be talking about habits this morning, good habits, and how to break bad habits. So have it in your mind, kind of what you want to ask Mr. Antonio about habits. We had a few stories we want to tackle to our panel this morning. Want to give you guys the heads up that we got to try to spitfire some of these. So we got to move quickly. So we can try to get most of this in before Shawn joins us. First things first, did anybody watch Versus yesterday? Keith Sweat versus Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown versus Keith Sweat went down last night. Shout out to Essence.
When I turned on it, I was like, I thought they said Keith Sweat and Bobby Brown, not Keith Sweat and Cedric the Entertainer.
Whoa.
Yikes.
Really?
Man, okay. This is the only thing I kind of didn't like, because that would have been a great opportunity for us to do like a live stream like we did last time watching the Versus. But they announced it like 2 days before the thing was going down. I'm like, come on with this last minute. Come on, Essence. Y'all could have told us about this a month ago, so we could have prepared for that, because that would have been a good show to have us all online, because it was funny. And
it would have been for Bobby Brown to prepare too, because he would do 2 verses. He'd be tired. He do the running man. He'd be sweating.
Word.
I'm like,
okay,
I'm glad he's not on drugs though.
I'm glad he's not on drugs
healthy,
too.
Though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I also noticed Bobby Brown really only got 2 notes that he sings. It's either soft or hard. Like if he ain't yelling, then it's a soft. But anything in between, I'm like, can Bobby sing?
Bobby sing. He sound good.
All right now, because wait a minute. I tell you what though, when it was announced, I'm like, I was team Bobby. I was team Bobby all the way. But as that program went on and on, I was like, I think I'm cheering for Keith Sweat. How? Keith Sweat was the man last night. He was funny. You know what I'm saying? He was entertaining. He sounded good. He looked good. You know what I'm saying?
He one of them uncles that always look clean. Like even in his 80s, you be like, damn, that's your uncle. You know what I'm saying? He still be fly.
Still be fly.
You know what I'm saying? Still getting the young ones.
The second outfit change he had with the karate jacket or whatever he had on, I was like, okay, that's smooth. It was dope, but I enjoyed it. I was cooking last night while listening to it and stuff. I was like, okay, it made me get an understanding of kind of what people do when these live stream things are happening. Like, because even right now, people could be watching this, but they're mostly just listening in. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because that's most of what I was doing too. But it was fun being in the comments, just talking mess. But I tried not to clown Bobby Brown too much. Let me get serious just for a second. I tried not to clown him too much because he lost his ex-wife and baby mama. He lost his daughter. You know what I'm saying? So I imagine
his son.
He lost his son. So I imagine he probably got big out of stress, and you know what I'm saying. That's so. As much as I really wanted to, go in on him, I'm like, man, that man's been through so much. Like unimaginable things that he didn't went through.
But you gotta say, even when when he do 1 to 2 steps, he still got it though. When you saw Keith Sweat dance, you was like, oh, he got a little rhythm. But when Bobby danced, you was like, oh, I see the difference. I know I did. As a critique of a dancer, I was like, this dude, he dope. He still got it. He still got it. He couldn't do it for longer than a minute and a half. But
yeah. It was a lot of that. Yeah, but he, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bobby Brown, just on some goofy stuff. He did show up like, nice like this. I wish.
Keith was throwing some jokes on him too about
Keith was hilarious.
He had me laughing.
Keith Sweat was hilarious. I'm like, okay, I see why this dude is, because he was like, oh, you cheating, man. You coming here with the new edition tracks. And he had to come with the new edition tracks.
Keith wrote all those songs, so
yeah, man.
He got some heaters.
He got some heaters.
And I bet you that ain't even half of them.
No, yeah.
And those are bangers back in those days. Those were banging.
Still banging.
Yes.
My body all over your body. Yeah, man. Shout out to Keith Sweat. Shout out to Versus. It was a good show.
Why do Tank come to all the Verses? I be like, he was at Moms and Pops Versus. I'm like, you know what? I want to hear you sing, bro.
Who was that second dude that got on the microphone? I was like, who's this random guy? Give the mic back to man. If you don't give the mic back to Bobby Brown, I'm a yeah.
And chubby people, stop wearing tight clothes. Wear a little I mean, it's only for the young and skinny.
Word.
Is that shaming?
Yes, it is. Aunt Chrissy says she's enjoyed the Bow Wow. I caught the end of that one. I caught the end of that. And
she admitted that? I won't even tell nobody I watched that. I'd be like,
but I don't want to be like I told you so, but I'm telling you that was the biggest watched one because of the youth are more into the internets than the older folks. Because it was almost like 800,000 in the room when I finally, checked it. Yeah, I was like, geez, a lot of people. But I got it. You know what I'm saying? That's their generation. That's their age range. But one more thing about the thing. I really feel they should redo the Babyface versus Teddy Riley one. Now that the technology's better, now that they could be in the same room at the same time, you know what I'm saying? I really think that what Teddy Riley was trying to pull off before they had the capability to do it with the live drummer and all that, now they can do it. You know what I'm saying? And I really feel that they should do a rematch because theirs wasn't it wasn't ready yet.
Yeah.
That's like eating, chicken that wasn't cooked all the way yet. That one wasn't ready yet. You know what I'm saying? I think they should redo it. That's my vote. That's my vote. That's my vote. I tell you what else got to
watch it. Like, don't you think the other one? Then would you say like the other version was like an audition? So would you see the show?
I would say yes. Being that they could be in the same room with one another and have the production value, it's almost like that other one didn't even happen because there were so many technical issues. I even stopped watching it. Like, that's how bad it was. It was bad.
Oh, it was bad.
It was bad.
They said it was pretty bad. They said Dr. Dre, when he saw that, he was like, I'm not doing it. Because
I'm not doing it.
He was supposed to be the next one up.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm good. They got to step their game up.
And now he could come and do. Ooh, what would you think about Dre versus Puff?
Ooh, that'd be good.
That'd be epic.
But to me, though, it got to be more than 20 songs for them dudes.
Nah, it can't be because that's going to be too long. Because even last night, I like the speed that they went last night. The only thing I didn't like, because and I saw somebody said they should redo the Erykah Badu and Jill Scott one too. I would say get some incense and candles all in the room. That would be beautiful. Because what Erykah did and Jill Scott, the way they changed the game is they added the stories to it, and that's what made it more. When these legends are telling the legendary stories, that some stuff that we would have never heard unless they told it. So
like
I think
the song was created and stuff, right?
Yeah. So I think last night missed that a little bit. I would have loved to hear some old Bobby Brown stories and some old Keith Sweat stories. Like that'd have been amazing.
Some of them songs Bobby Brown did, I was like, I ain't never heard that song. Like I was like, come on, Bobby, you reaching, cuz.
Word. There was about 3 of them that I was, because first of all, the new commercial breaks during the thing, I'm like, okay, Coca-Cola, what we doing now? Yeah. We're doing too much now. Put the commercials at the beginning and the end. They put it right in the middle of DJ Cassidy's set. He DJing, saying the same thing over and over and over again, dancing off beat. Ugh, that's a whole nother episode. Talk about his goofy ass. But I'm like, how y'all just gonna drop a commercial right in the middle of the show? Like, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, Erykah, you said you wonder how Dre is doing. What happened to Dre? Why you asked that, Erykah? I'm wondering now why you asked that, because it seemed like he was doing fine and everything.
She just trying to make up something to gossip.
Unless she got the inside scoop.
That's how stories get started.
Inside scoops.
What's that rumor song? Rumors. That song, Rumors.
Look at all these rumors surrounding me. Dr. Dre had a stroke. When? How long ago? Because he'd been fine from the stroke. Didn't he have?
That was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, that was like 100 years ago.
He made it, girl. He made it.
He had another one. Hold on, let me see.
Oh, that's sad.
Let me look it up. Let me go to my Googles. American rapper and producer Dr. Dre has been discharged from hospital after being treated for brain aneurysm. A lawyer said the 55 was now back in good. That's back in January.
Yeah, come on, girl. Step your game up. You doing too much.
And he didn't have a stroke. He had an aneurysms. I don't know who's giving y'all reports.
Next, she gonna say he was drinking Kool-Aid and he shot like too much. You making up stuff.
All right, so here we go. Bill Cosby is now a free man. The Montgomery County District Attorney's Office is carrying a much different tune to the news of Cosby's release, saying, in essence, this does not truly exonerate him, only that he's being cut loose on a legal technicality. DA Kevin R. Steele says the majority decision by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court orders the release of William H. Cosby Jr. from state prison. He was found guilty by a jury and now goes free on a procedural issue that is irrelevant to the facts of the crime. I guess they said he can't be tried for a thing that they put him in jail for. So this whole time that he's been in jail illegally. So I don't know who they was trying to satisfy by putting him in prison, but for the reason why he got let out was for the reason why he should have never been put in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So that was wrong of them to do that. So to add to this story is, people going in on Felicia Rashad. I don't think what Felicia Rashad said was wrong. She said finally a wrong was righted, which it was. He was not supposed to be sent to prison. They sent him to prison. That was wrong. They corrected the thing. So I don't know. I'm not on any side of the fence here. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is if we are going on legalities, what's the word for that? Legalities, legal beagles. Legalities. If we go by legalities, you know what I'm saying? We all want to respect the law. That's what America is. America's rules and laws. Right. And if you didn't break the rules,
I was happy the brother was out.
It's not that he didn't break the rules.
It's not that he didn't.
What they got him for is probably that particular thing that they charged him for, that he went to jail for, may be the issue. It's not that he did not break the rules.
Word.
It's just
that the way they went about doing it.
Way more expensive, or way more money that's in front of their face that they couldn't have in their bank account versus
Word.
The other sides, the lawyers were really, really, really working every single one of those words to translate it into any other possibility that it could be, defined as. And somehow I'm sure they managed to, talk to whoever they needed to talk to and get him off. But it's not that he's not guilty. It's not that he didn't do the crime. He just has really good people working for him.
Welcome to America. I think it's most people respond to things emotionally. So I want to get in the practice of not really taking the first thing somebody says as like the thing to accept. Because when I hear somebody say he is still a threat to society, this blind 83-year-old man, you think is still going to come out and do the exact same thing again? I think that person is speaking emotionally. Yeah. So I'm say you have every right to say that. I'm going to let you have that, but I'm just not going to put no weight behind that. Because come on, Cletus.
If you let Bill Cosby
Michelle,
get in your pudding.
Again. At 83.
Oh, hey, Michelle.
It's just like too much. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah. We missed all that. Your internet was messed up.
Who?
You was like Mad Max. You remember Mad Max from the from the 80s or 90s? Blip, 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 blip. That's what your technology was doing. Good morning, Michelle. Michelle said that's another example to show that there's not a justice system in this country, only a legal system. That is facts on facts on facts.
Absolutely. There's so many people that's in prison that shouldn't be in prison. That shows.
Yep.
And could you imagine, like, the weight that he has and the money that he has? They still put him in there. How many years was it?
3.
3 years.
It was supposed to be for 10 years, and he did like 3 of the 10 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And he'll never get that back.
And how many women are, behind this that are going to be now tormented because now he is out, but they have received the pain that they've received. Now they're not getting the compensation that they were promised. So while they say this is not exoneration, why is he out then? Why is he free? A little bit more of an explanation might help the situation out other than its technicalities.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Welcome to America, ladies and gentlemen. What's her name? The original Aunt Viv. She was trying to drag Claire Huxtable. How can you say that? How can you?
First of all, people, calm down. And I explained to DJ Unique about this, I think a couple of days ago. It's like having a friend, right? And your friend do something wrong or was accused of doing something wrong. Mm-hmm. That don't mean that I'm not going to still be that person's friend, right? Yeah. You don't know the conversation I had with my friend with the things that I thought that he did wrong or was accused of doing wrong. I'm not going to not still be that person's friend. I'm going to still love him. I'm going to still be on their side because that's what real friends and family members are for, even through the darkest times. So how can you judge someone for being a friend or loving someone despite of their trouble? Because we all got people who do trouble in our family that we disagree, but we still love them.
But we still love them. And we still gonna ride for them, still gonna root for them.
Absolutely.
And I guess, in a way, even though she was so close to him for such a long period of time.
Right.
You know how sometimes it's the closest ones that have no clue. They're the last ones to find out, or you just don't want to believe either.
Yep.
Or I can even say this. Sorry, KK. I can even say this. Maybe now I'm just saying this. This is my point. I'm not feeling it 100%, but maybe he didn't do anything. Maybe these are people accusing him, wrongfully accusing him for whatever reasons. I don't know.
That's a real thing. That's a real thing, and we don't know. And
while you say that, Cheese, I truly believe that there is trickle of them that is in there that he probably didn't have anything to do with, and because they have been in same room with him, they had done something with him. They could say, "Oh, I could get myself." They could be those money.
Right. Absolutely.
Whatever.
And then we have to realize. I know people disagree with me with this. But all our people who's very successful on that level, that's African American, Black, whatever you want to call us, they try to demise whatever success they have. Look at Michael Jackson, right? Look at this guy. It's like, and I'm not saying, you know, if you did something wrong, you should be accountable for those. But it to me, it shows that it's like a, I don't know if y'all understand what I'm trying to say.
I know what you're saying. Okay. Michelle said, I might be wrong, but I think he confessed to doing some of the things he's been accused of. I mean, like on the on that, I wish I had the clip, but like on that late night show, they talking about that Spanish fly that they used to put in women's drinks back in the day. So he did technically admit that that's something that they used to do. It sucks that was happening. That's basically a date rape drug that they was putting in people's drinks. And that sucks. But I thought about this when you were doing your explanation, Cheese. When you say when you got to ride with your friend, it would get to a point like if 30 women came out accused you of trying to knock them down, I'd be like, Cheese, what's going on? You'd be like, hey, bro, I didn't do that, man. It's a witch hunt going down. And for a while, I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry that's happened to you, bro. Like, if there's anything you need, let me know. 40 women come out. Cheese. 50 women come out. Cheese. You trying to tell me you did not even one of them? You're like, I didn't do none of that. And then
it's like all of a sudden it's like so-and-so's friend. Now it seems like a little more believable. Right. And now it's so-and-so's sister. And now it's like, maybe he really did do it, you know?
Word.
I'm not.
I don't think he's completely innocent.
No. Nobody is.
I'm not here shaming the people who were hurt, you know, and all of those things, you know. God be with you. My prayers are with you. I hope you overcome the whatever, you know, challenges you have, if that was true, you know. So I'm not here to be you know, shaming folks.
Well, this is the most important thing that I need to know in this whole scenario is, can we please get the Cosby Show back on TV now? You know what I'm saying? They accused him. He went to jail. He did the time. He's out now. Can we please put the Cosby Show back on TV? It was one of the greatest shows of all time.
Too soon.
Too soon now? Okay.
I mean,
should we let him pass away first and then they put it back on TV? Like, when should we get it back? I think it should put it back on TV. I need the Cosby Show back. It was a great show. I'm just saying. Who do you? They should put it on Amazon or one of them streaming services. All I'm saying is, can we please get the Cosby Show back? Maybe 2023, 2022.
I'm kind of surprised that we don't have any of the seasons or.
Yeah, because for a second we didn't need to buy the DVDs. Yeah. So anyway, it was streaming on. It was on one of the streaming services for a while before they took it down. That's why we didn't. That's why we didn't buy it. Either way, I need Theo and Vanessa and all them back in my life again. Turn up. All right. I don't know if you guys know
that's your least favorite character.
She gets on my goddamn nerves. But she do get on my goddamn nerves.
Which one was Vanessa? Is that the middle sister?
The middle one.
Yeah, the one right before Ruby. Yeah, she got on my shit. All she did was wrong. That she didn't never do nothing right. The best thing she had in her life was damnness. Anyway.
Wow.
So That's So Raven star Kyle Massey.
Tell us how you really feel.
No. The That's So Raven star Kyle Massey has been charged for allegedly sending explicit videos to a 13-year-old.
Come on, brother.
Okay, and this is what kind of got me about the whole scenario too, because sometimes maybe you interacting with somebody and you don't quite know how old they are. I'm just saying that could happen. But when you know somebody since they was 4 years old, come on, cuz. So famous for his role as Corey Baxter on That's So Raven and Corey in the House, Kyle Massey is now facing a felony charge of allegedly sending sexually explicit content to a 13-year-old girl with his nasty lips. Massey has been charged with one count of communication with a minor for immoral purposes, according to legal docs. This is according to TMZ. Massey allegedly sent inappropriate videos and messages to the girl between December 2018 and January 2019. Police were given a thumb drive by the girl's mother containing the sexual material that Massey allegedly sent over Snapchat. Why they say allegedly if they got video of it? Anyway, officials say that there were videos of a man, allegedly Massey, who exposed his penis. According to the girl's mother, Massey has known the girl since she was 4 years old. What in the ham, jam, peanut butter, and jelly sandwich is wrong with you, Mr. Kyle Massey? Throw him out in jail.
Okay, can I say something off the record?
Sure.
Okay, I don't know. I'm just trying to be politically correct. But listen, he looks like a Bill Cosby attorney. The black guy, if you look at his picture and the guy that's accused, look at them two pictures. If y'all can look it up right now, them dudes look like brothers. I swear. I noticed that. I was like, that's weird. But that's all.
Bill Cosby lawyer.
The brother that always go up and speak.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But
He has that sad face.
I feel real bad for those people that fall into the category of not knowing what that person is. Like, I feel teenagers look a lot older or a lot younger. There is really, I can't gauge, and I work with teenagers a lot.
Word.
But, I mean, come on, you.
Yeah, man.
Family.
But you
friend.
can
like
tell though.
Niece,
You can tell though, KK, when they start talking, are they you can tell a kid as a kid. You can tell
by conversation, and you can.
Once the conversation, and unless the pervert and you said, I'm gonna ignore that. You know what I mean? But
100%, that's the pervert in him.
Why are you as a grown man texting my 13-year-old daughter?
And then she's 13 now. That means he's been, you know what I'm saying, sending messages and stuff since she was like 11. You know what I mean? It's like, ew, bro, you on TV. Why you, okay, this is neither here nor there. Okay. But do you think that pedophiles do these things for children because they got small penises and they don't think that they can satisfy a grown adult woman? So that's why they have to try to, you know what I'm saying?
I feel that is one of the psychological things because, you know, they are smaller things by then will make the pedophile look bigger, I guess, make them more stronger. But, man, I wonder if he has been, in a way, grooming this child for a while. Because, you know, if you've known this person for a long time, you're, like, waiting for that transition period. And maybe in his mind, it feels, okay, now, you know, she'll know that this is something different.
I think. Go ahead. I'm sorry,
but as a parent, this is the reason why. Like, no, dude, don't have your friends. If you know them, you need to disconnect them from their lives, your lives, in order to do that. And why are you asking for my daughter's number? How did you get my daughter's number? What are you doing?
Well, they was Snapchatting. You know, Snapchat is like a public forum, so that's scary. That's why you got to be in your children's social medias and stuff. Like, that's scary.
That's very scary.
Here's a question. I don't know if y'all can answer this or not. You know what I'm saying? Maybe just spitball. Do you think being a predator is in someone's DNA? How do you learn to become a predator? How do you know the things to say as a predator to get your prey? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because the things that they do to coax these young people is not normal behavior. How do they learn that behavior to be able to perform it?
It is a natural instinct for a male, for sure, but to go to such a, you know, past the line that is drawn, that's where we have the difficulty. But it is in your DNA to go after, to go hunt, you know. That's
like that's like a regular man to a person that's a sexual pedophile. Am I using that right? When, like, from a distance, right, and you see a girl and she got cakes, and then you get up on her and you be like a man that's a man, he gonna go, ew, you know, that's a kid, you know.
Right.
But for a pervert to continue go, oh, you know, and it's like taking candy from a child. It's like, it's disgusting. It's like
kind of like offering candy to a child, but like nasty candy.
Okay. It's terrible.
But like what Erica Michelle said, I guess that is the way that they learn it because it happened to them. So once it happens to them, now you know what to do. But that sucked. And what's crazy about it, because you know when it happened to you that you didn't like it.
But sometimes ain't that an excuse though? Like if my mother, when I was a kid that beat me all the time, and then I have kids and I beat my kids all the time, like
that happens.
I get it, but I don't want that for my child. Like,
right, but I think that has to do with, this is what you have learned from your parents because it has been done to you. Yeah. But have you learned to take care of it any other way by actually talking to your child? Have they done that to you for you to say, oh, that's another option? Or have you gone out of your way to say, I don't want to be that? So what do I need to study to not have that relationship with my kid?
But,
a lot of
but
times
I never,
it's just
That's true.
instinctively.
Instinctively.
It comes from childhood
but
memory.
KK, I never was taught, how to be a good parent. And I'm not saying I'm a good parent now. I'm hoping that I am. But my mother never had, it was never an option to communicate, right? It was always spank or whoop your ass, and that's it. So I felt in myself like that's not fair. So I don't know. I know what you guys getting at, but I don't understand the concept of people saying because it happened to them.
Yeah.
That you know what I mean?
Yeah, and
we're not defending the situation.
Fortunately for you,
get it. Some people completely say I'm not gonna be that at all, and they 180 of their parents, which is great. A lot of the times, you are pretty much the product of where you come from.
Right.
Yeah. And then same thing also with the topic today we're doing with Shawn with habits, you know what I'm saying? That could be put into your subconscious if that's your habit now.
Wow.
And if you don't know fortunately for you, you saw another way, or you know what I'm saying? But for people who don't see another way, when that's all that's around you, you think that's the norm.
Right.
Cause there's a reggae song called "Whoop the Kids," talking about the belt. Yeah, and it's like
my mama didn't hear that song.
She probably played it every time she whooped your ass. She's like, pull it out. But if it's all you know, that's all you know. You know what I'm saying? And that's not just that kind of behavior too. It's like unhealthy eating habits, and you know what I'm saying, being lazy about something. You know, if that's all you surround you, and you don't have the opportunity to break out of that, then the cycle continues.
Right.
And like the Anthony Third said, he's all for child whooping, and believe me, it's crossed my mind so much.
I'm not into.
I think it's better avenues.
We're not into it, but it's crossed.
I think it's better ways to communicate with the child than whoop them. To me, that's just how I feel, because my son seeing my disappointment I think it's enough for him. I don't know up in his age what the challenges is going to be, but for me to be like, son, why did you do that? He's already like, oh man, I messed up. You know what I'm saying? So
that
to each his own.
Yeah, to each his own. But if you it's a transference of energy. So if you beating on somebody, they gonna go beat on somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't just end.
Right.
So it's not just to each his own. Like we really as a society got to decide, because most of the time when your kids are doing something, you got to kind of look at what are you doing that they're emulating, because you're their source. So if they see
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I remember one time you told me, because years ago, because I was explaining to you a story because Seven ran out in the streets and almost got hit. And I said at that time I was so angry, and I said I wanted to spank him. Mm-hmm. And you explained to me, but he probably was so confused, like, you're telling me that I could have got hit, but you still hurting me. Or something like that. I don't know if you remember that conversation. And I said, damn, dude, you're right.
Word.
Because it made so much sense. Mm-hmm. Like, why would you punish a kid? You know what I mean?
Who's already scared.
Scared.
Absolutely. Like,
that's traumatizing.
You put more fear in them, you know?
Yeah. Trauma. Whoop the kids.
The moment
give them trauma.
His fear, his vulnerability. Now I can't even go to my father because now he's
going to be mad.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Also, think about that now too. We think about, like, why do our children lie to us and da 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 da. It's because they're afraid of us, and they're afraid that they can't be open because we're going to hit them.
Yeah.
That's an Oprah moment.
He's so stupid.
Stupid. But now we can't even get mad at the kids for, you know what I'm saying, trying to protect themselves, because that's what humans do. Human beings are fight or flight, and they got to try to protect themselves. So I'm going to lie to you so that you don't hurt me.
Right.
Because if I tell you the truth, you saw something that I did before and you hurt me. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy.
I just read Anthony Third's comment.
Oh, what he say?
People these days, like, I'm so angry at you that we're gonna make a trust circle and talk. Oh my god. Is it conch or conch?
That's kind of the way it's supposed to be, though. Like, I don't know, man, because there's a lot of behavior. Let me try to move this to some of these stories that we got. There's a lot of behaviors. It's behaviors that you got to ask, like, what's wrong with people? I got like 3 wash your asses and brush your teeth this week.
Oh no, why?
Okay, so one of them I gotta do the disclaimer of don't do drugs. If you can't handle drugs, don't do drugs. If you can't just have fun and get turned up recreationally, don't do drugs. So a man who panicked on a moving plane at LAX charged the cockpit and then broke his leg after leaping out of an emergency exit.
He charged what? What did he charge?
Okay, so the plane's about to take off, and he gets nervous because he's been doing meth for 5 days straight. So being that he's doing meth for 5 days straight, he's on the come down now from doing the meth, so he's still, cuckoo. So he got freaked out about the plane about to take off. So he tries to run to the cockpit and, get to the captains, but the door's locked. So being that the door's locked, he's like, I got to get off the plane. So he opened up the emergency exit, tried to jump out. Totally, you know how when you open the emergency exit, that raft thing comes out?
Yeah.
Totally missed that, and then landed outside and shattered his leg, broke his leg, jumping out of a plane because of heroin. So not only is your leg shattered, now he's going to spend a maximum of 20 years in prison for this act that he did. Ladies and gentlemen, don't do drugs. If you can't handle your drugs, don't do drugs.
He's not going to do 20 years.
He's not going to do 20, but you're
a
dumbass.
20 years because they're
Why
going to
not?
use that drug as an insanity. Like he was in there to influence. He didn't mean to do it. Like
it was his choice to use that drug. If I was a lawyer, I'd be like, no, his dumbass did the drugs.
He did. He had it. He wasn't in possession. He was under the influence of, and because this is a federal, so it might be different. There may be a chance because there's a lot of people on that plane who had to be delayed. I'm sure the scheduling thing had to be changed and all that. What?
Word. And I was gonna say that would have been me, because I would have been like, am I the selfish one in this scenario? What if I was on the plane and I got a gig that I need to get to, but now they got to divert the plane, turn it around, park it, bring it. It's a whole thing. Like, they don't just shut the door back and then fly the plane off. Now you done missed your flight, all because this asshole wanted to do drugs. Don't do drugs if you can't handle your drugs.
Because they got to roll up that emergency, whatever thing and all that stuff. And the thing about it is, if I had a 2-day, 3-night vacation and clearly it took a whole day away from me, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the third say is because
maybe they will get it, but just because it's a federal and all this is involved. But normally that drug influence, they're gonna use that. They're gonna use that.
And the third said it's because he never got whooped enough as a kid. Turned up. Well, speaking of whooping, so former MMA fighter Joe Skilling, is it Skilling? I don't know if you guys saw the video of George Skilling. So he was at a bar in Florida, and he was going back to where I guess his seating area was, and there was a guy kind of standing there. And, you know what I'm saying, he didn't forcefully move the guy out of the way, but it was one of those, you know what I'm saying, shift him over to the side a little bit so he can get through. I guess the guy had words for him. So the Joe Skilling guy turned around, and the guy went like this. He went like that to a former MMA fighter. That's what he did. So when Joe, I guess he went with the natural instincts, he comboed him like, and then the dude fell out, hit the ground, you know what I'm saying? And boom. So now the guy's trying to sue. This is what I see from this scenario, because in the video, you can see the guy he's a little bit lit. So when some people get lit, they're hella annoying. Yeah. And the Joe Skilling guy said that this guy was already kind of harassing their group, bothering them before the incident even happened. So it's not like it was out of the blue. It was like it built up to that. Yeah. So the guy's trying to sue Joe, and I'm kind of on Joe's side on this one. You know what I'm saying? Because no one was causing trouble to this guy. I be in clubs. I know what the drunk guy is like. The drunk guy is annoying. And I know he's not clear in his mind where he is right now, but I am. And you are bothering me. Leave me alone, drunk guy. If this is what alcohol does to you, maybe you shouldn't drink.
But devil's advocate, if that's correct, if I'm using it right, you can't put your hands on nobody. That man didn't hit him. He was being a dummy.
Well, is this not the threat? If somebody jumps at you, ain't it on now? Yeah. It's on now. Hey, bro, what you doing?
Yeah, when you was in high school and junior high and elementary, but when you're a grown man,
you gonna wait for him to hit you?
I'm born and raised South Central LA.
Word.
We coming from the shoulders.
You know what I'm saying?
You spit the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Hey, homie, y'all. No, but seriously, but to me, we have to be mature and we have to walk away from the situation. You have to, because especially when you have money and you're successful, that's a money grab. That's a money bag. Whatever how you say that.
Yeah.
I am totally with you, but sometimes when they're so big and you're so little, for some reason that little person knows that big person can't do anything to them.
Ooh.
Because automatically, like I think the little people automatically assume that big people are not gonna think 2, 3, 4, 5 times before they act on something that like little dogs versus a big dog. Little dogs let go, run around.
The little dogs are
yap. They bark once, everybody's like, oh, put your dog away, kind of situation, So it may be like the opposite of bullying in a way that may have happened, and this guy probably gets it all the time, being a professional fighter. People probably come up to him all the time saying like, ooh, I would love to fight you, like, can we arm wrestle, or whatever the situation is. And this person may have been the
trigger
straw that broke the camel's back. But
I mean, I think there's just some people that you don't do this to. You don't, what I'm saying? Because he's going off natural instincts, and his natural instinct, when you see this, so I guess
I do not believe that would be the same. What if a woman was up in his face then? But
no, that's different.
He would have felt the same kind of feeling that.
Yeah, no, there's no threat
from a man as to.
There's no threat there. I would like if a woman got in my face, I would expect like KK's arm to come over my shoulder like, bitch, like back up.
But you meant to say that though too, like he knew he was the bigger guy too, so he shouldn't felt threatened. He should walk away from that. Like, dude, 100%. I know I can push the lights out of you. Like, you got it.
Especially when you're trained to kill. Yeah.
And they teach you that, like when 7 in karate, they teach you how to be humble and not to go in there looking for fights. It's a humbling sport.
Yeah.
So I don't
know, because like at some point, like in karate, martial arts, once you reach a black belt, you are legally a weapon.
Word.
So I don't know what position this man is in, but if he is in that kind of category, then he's in much bigger trouble. But like, how much does a person really have to take? Like, if you're always taking this, maybe this will have taught everybody a lesson as to say, like, don't
mess with Joe.
Don't
mess with Joe.
He's frustrated too, because big people have, I'm sure there are complications that they go to. I know knee issues, all that
or being tested.
Maybe going through their frustration. It's like, why do I always have to take this? Like, why do they get to keep getting away with their negativity? And I'm always on the end of keeping my mouth shut, having to sit down, and now I can't even enjoy my night.
And what's really bad about this is kind of like we have to go by what everybody's saying, and like we don't see, you never see what happens that led up to something. You just see the fight video. And everybody always be like, oh, that's so violent, blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, you didn't see the 30 minutes ahead of time when this dude kept poking me in my face. I went to the bathroom to go cool off. I came back. He was still on that BS. I don't know what happened. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know what happened. But usually that's what it is. You always, the person that throws the punch is the one that gets in trouble because that's what they saw. But they didn't see the reason why you threw the punch.
They didn't see the snap?
Huh?
They didn't see that, like him trying.
No, you can see that on the video. On the video, you see the guy with the pump fake. Don't pump fake.
It's like basketball though. It's always the second person who interact. Like the first guy, he can do something, shove you, but the refs don't see. But that second one, if you push them back, they gotta tee you up. You know what I mean?
100%. Turn up. So we'll keep an eye on that story to see what happens. Want to see what you guys think about this. In Plymouth, Massachusetts, Prosecutors say a 19-year-old accused of killing his dad told authorities he was trying to save his parent from demons. Jack Callahan was charged with murder after his father's body was found in a Duxbury Park pond on Monday. According to the police, Callahan said he took an Uber with his father from Boston to Duxbury after not being able to visit his father's ex-wife. When the two got to the park, the father, Scott Callahan, allegedly hit Jack multiple times. Jack is the boy. Jack then took his father to the shore of the pond to baptize him and exorcise his demons, dunking his head 4 or 5 times until he stopped moving. Basically, he drowned his daddy. Prosecutor said Scott had previously had a traumatic brain injury, citing an abrasion on his head. Jack Callahan is being held without bond pending a court hearing to determine his risk of public safety. Now,
how old is that?
19. He's 19 years old. So, he said Pat jumping Chris Paul. So my question is, how do you know when to tell the truth? Because sometimes people are possessed by the devil. And what if truly in your heart, you're like, yo, my daddy was possessed and I was trying to get that demon out of him. Like, I didn't know what else to do. He was attacking me. He was having these emotions. So I tried to baptize him, get him out to jump off. Like, is this just a horrible made up story, or is there some truth to this, do you think?
It sounds like a made up story to me. First of all, how did you get him into the water? I don't see my son at 17 years. Like, was his dad intoxicated when that happened? It doesn't. None of it makes sense to me.
Word. I don't know.
Weird.
It does. It does sound super weird. And when I first read the story, I was like, "Oh, he crazy. This is ridiculous." But then I started thinking, like, sometimes when people say crazy stuff, they're really telling the truth. But we are so easily to brush them off, like, you crazy. That's crazy. What you say don't make no sense. That's dumb. That's stupid. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of sometimes we have to look further into a scenario to see if they're really crazy or not.
Especially when they're insisting on,
Yeah.
That I don't know what to say about that.
Word. Okay. It's like 9:50, so we got about 9 minutes for Shawn Antonio. Two more. Wash your asses and brush your teeth before we go. So in Ohio, man diagnosed with HIV was sentenced Tuesday on multiple counts of sexual battery and assault. Cuyahoga County prosecutor said Richard Morris, he's 38, he assaulted teenagers and adults, both men and women, including 2 relatives, knowing he had HIV, using a variety of aliases to encourage them. Part of taking advantage of them is not disclosing his status. He still chose to get into the relationships and expose children to this disease that he suffers from. He was arrested in 2018 and pleaded not guilty, but later struck a plea deal with prosecutors. As part of that plea deal, Morris will serve 23 years in prison, followed by 8 years of post-release supervision for 7 counts of assault and sexual battery. He ain't gonna live that long. He positive. Turn up. He will also be listed as a tier 3 sexual offender. And this is a super duper wash your ass and brush your teeth, because your own family, you know what I'm saying? Even these strangers, the men and women, like, what are you? Was he so hurt by the fact that he was HIV positive that he wanted to go and burn everybody else too? Like, come on, man, wash your ass and brush your teeth. That's so unfair.
Question.
Yes.
What did he do to what's the word? To give him the disease?
Well, we don't know if he gave them the disease, but the fact that he knows that he's HIV positive and he exposed those people to potentially getting it.
How do you expose? I'm trying to understand.
By having unprotected sex and
with his family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's gross. That's why he need to wash his ass and brush his teeth. It's like, come on, cuz, really, man? Like, why?
Maybe it was at that point in time, like when he found out that he himself was infected. Maybe he no longer had care for the world, care for anybody. Like,
man,
those kids that go to school and shoots just certain people. Maybe he has certain people in his life that he was like, in his family, that like, okay, I don't like you, or maybe he was abused and. Never know, but I think like so many things could go through when you know that you're gonna die soon.
But HIV is not a death sentence, though.
Not anymore.
No, it's not a death sentence. He can live like forever.
But to that person, it may be. To that person, it may be.
They got commercials now. They got people playing basketball like, I'm HIV positive, but life goes on.
So to that person, it may be.
Okay, so once again, we're bringing in Shawn Antonio. Today we're talking about habits, good habits, and how to break bad habits. Next wash your ass and brush your teeth. Probably. Because I saw that commercial. The next wash your ass and brush your teeth is definitely, I would say, probably one of the worst habits I've ever seen in my entire life. So a Colorado father accused of killing his 13-year-old son after the boy discovered compromising photos of the dad. This is basically what happened. A son went to go visit his father. The father's name is, what's his name? Dylan Redwine. Dylan Redwine, 59 years old. His son found pictures of him dressed in women's clothing, eating doo-doo out of a diaper.
What? That ain't real. You making that up.
No, it's 100% real. This is going down in Colorado right now. He's like, talk about a bad habit. I think dressing in women's clothing and eating doo-doo out of a diaper is a terrible habit to have. But that makes you think, though, that's mental health issues. Like, there's nothing. You cannot normalize that to me.
I mean,
the dressing in the women's clothes, do your thing. I don't really care about that. But you eating doo-doo out of a diaper, that's very specific. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's toxic.
To eat poop alone is disgusting, but the only one to eat doo-doo out of a diaper, that's...
Who's taking the pictures of this?
He might have took some selfies. He might have been like...
Whose doo-doo is this?
I don't... These are too many questions. I don't know.
like that's too much.
I don't know. But anyway, so the son found the pictures, and then the dad ended up murdering his son. I'm guessing out of embarrassment, out of shame. And I'm thinking, eating doo-doo out of a diaper is not shameful enough. You know what I'm saying? Why getting caught for it? Why is that the straw that broke the camel's back is getting caught?
That diaper was.
What does taking a picture have anything to do with?
Maybe he gets off on that. Maybe that's his porn. His porn is taking pictures of himself in the women's clothing, eating doo-doo out of a diaper. That's how he gets off. People get off the weird stuff. Yeah. But this is people. This is people. This exists. You know what I'm saying? This sounds so made up, but this happened. And where are we as a society? What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? I wish we could get. I want to get into the story too. What's his name? Ali what? What's his name?
Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about Ollie London.
Yeah, Ollie London. Ollie London was a YouTube. What do they call it? YouTube.
Creator.
What do they call it?
YouTuber.
A YouTuber. He's a YouTuber, and he's a big fan of what's his name? Jimin.
Oh yeah.
Jimin from BTS. So much so that he got almost over 18 surgeries to try to look like Jimin, and now he's saying that he identifies as Korean because he wants to be this person so much. This is where we are as a society. So I mean, God, go into it, KK, before we bring Shawn in, because
I'm just wondering, like, this guy is wondering why people are questioning him and calling him or having all these responses, because he came out as non-binary, but as Jimin and Korean. That's what he came out as. I'm coming out as Jimin, the character.
Hey guys, I just want to take this chance to come out today. Something that's been on my mind for a long time, and I've been very confused about.
KK, does he look like him? Does he look like Jimin? No.
How I identify, I've been very, very confused, and I've seen
the whole non-binary thing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's accepting that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like as a society we're moving on and we're accepting that. But to identify as another human being that actually exists still on this planet, how much do we have to play along with all this stuff?
I saw on TMZ the finished product. If I'm using that phrase, I hope I'm not being disrespectful.
Word.
But he looks just like the dude. No, they showed him with the blonde hair and his eyes was what?
Don't say that.
What?
No, say it doesn't look just like the dude. I think
no.
To Jimin.
You have to see the picture to believe it, and they put them together, and it was like, wow, he looks Asian.
He looks
I don't
Asian,
know how they did it.
As I have explained, like I feel as though, I mean, like he does not have to look Korean, because you know what? A lot of Korean people get cosmetic surgeries to look like Western, American, Europeans, white people.
They sure do.
Right.
It's not.
Say that. Preach that.
It's not going off board to say like I look Korean and I want to identify. Go to Korea, live there, and get the citizenship. If you want to be Korean, you can do that.
That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, where was going? But for him to say, like, this is what I am, and for him to actually take over a person that actually exists in this world already, like he has a position, I would be so scared as Jimin of BTS to be like, and at the same time, I can't do anything about it, because if I said anything, now I'm gonna bring his popularity up. Anything I say about this, it brings BTS down, or Jimin and BTS down, whereas it lifts the other guy. But I thought he was done with his surgery.
I take it as a compliment.
Last night I was talking to my 15-year-old who really likes, anime characters, loves drawing. She's drawn every single one of the BTS, and even she's like, no, mommy. This guy married a cardboard cutout of Jimin in Vegas.
That's scary.
He's doing too much. Yeah,
that's not a compliment to me, man. That's scary. It's like, bro, like you can like what I do, but come on.
That's over the stalker, I think. That's like way more than that.
Hi, everyone.
It's 10 o'clock. It is 10 o'clock. The one and only Shawn Antonio is in the building. Greetings, Mr. Shawn. It must be the first Friday of the month. How you feeling, Mr. Antonio?
Amazing.
Good
What
morning.
did I walk into? I heard something about Korean K-pop, BTS. What did I walk into?
Well, a young man, a YouTuber from the UK is a big fan of Jimin from the group BTS. Okay. So much so that he had over 18 surgeries to look like that artist, and he is now identifying himself as Korean. Now, when I first read that, I was like, we could do that now? And I technically, I don't think that is a big deal, because you can learn Korean, get into the culture, get into the food, and you can feel like I get that, turn up. But I think it's going too far.
Great.
Yeah. But I think it's going too far now when you are literally trying to become the person that you are a fan of. That's scary to me.
It's a bit much for sure. Wow.
Yeah.
That actually is real.
It's happening. Yeah.
Wow. 18
and like, what do you think is going through the mind of the person who is going through all these procedures? Because these procedures are painful.
Yep.
Yeah.
So painful. It takes such a long time to recover from. It is brutal to your body. So after going through all this process, and if you were to come to a conclusion of looking just like Jimin, what are you going to do with that now? Jimin already exists.
Gotta figure it out. Yeah.
But don't y'all remember though when people what is that? When somebody tried to be someone else, like Michael Jackson, it was people who were doing surgeries to look like Michael Jackson and bleaching their skin. It's normal.
Yeah.
But you know what though? I gotta address that real quick.
It happens. I don't think it's normal.
It's okay. I would say that it's not normal. It happens, right? But that's crazy. First of all, hey guys, great to see you all. I know I walked into like a conversation. Great to see you all. Great to be with you. First Fridays, Church of Shawn. I'm here. Hey Christy. Hey Kimbar. I saw you guys. Thank you for being a part of the show as usual. I don't know what the fuck that's about as far as trying to be somebody else, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't understand what that looks like. Meaning like, finding yourself within someone else's character, that's a really deep conversation. That's a really long therapy session for me with somebody to like discover why. And I get admiring somebody. Like I admire a lot of people, rock and roll, but I'm not doing surgeries to look like that person. So that's a deep identity conversation. So that's a whole nother world.
He has been very unhappy with himself. He has been very unhappy, and these surgeries, enhancements, so called, he says, does make him happy. It makes him feel good about himself. It makes him very happy. He likes the transition that's being taken place. But I mean, are you not thinking about the person? If you're a huge fan, you're obsessed. Are you not thinking about your actual model that you're going after? Because he's scared of you. He doesn't want to. I would think that I wouldn't want to be in the room with Ali.
Not only that, but you know what I'm saying? He's only looking like the exterior of that person. What if Jimin has had a rough life? What if Jim is having a hard time? Like, how much of Jimin do you want to be?
Yeah, what if he wasn't a great person?
Yeah, what if he was an asshole? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly. Hey guys, so real quick, let's reset. All right. Welcome to Church of Shawn. We're gonna reset right now. All right. So all of us right now, 1, 2, 3, take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right, guys. Today's theme. First of all, happy 4th of July weekend to everybody. Hello. So today's topic is habits. Unique. You created this today. You created habits. And it's perfect because this is the last half of 2021. So goodbye to the first half. Cheese, you okay? Did you drop the cheese?
Yeah, I think I dropped something. I'm good. No. Go ahead.
That was amazing. So, guys, the first half of 2021 is gone. It ended 2 days ago, and here we are in the second half. And I just want to acknowledge, by the way, I messed up in my promo. I said July 3rd, Friday. It's July 2nd.
I didn't even catch it until I did the final edit. And after I did the final edit, I was like, I'll just write it. It's all good. Yeah.
One of my boys was like, hey, Shawn, Friday's July 3rd. I was like, fuck! At that moment, I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
It's all perfect, right? So accepting your mistakes, right, is a thing. So I love that we made that mistake. It's perfect. So guys, today is about habits. How to stop your unhealthy habits. So whatever they are. So I'm going to out myself off the bat. So the second half of 2021, for me, I'm breaking all my bad habits. Here's some habits I have. I'll start with outing myself. And guys, everybody in the chat, out themselves, say some stuff. Let's deal with it. So some of my really, really bad habits is picking my nose. I do this all the time. I'm like this. And people, because I'm hyper, people think I'm on cocaine. People actually think I'm like a total cokehead. And I'm like, no, I think. So when my brain starts to think, I do this. It's a habit all the time, right? Number 2, when I get bored, I bite my nails. Even though my nails are always manicured, I actually bite my nails when I'm like thinking. It's a weird thing I've had since I was like 4 or 5 years old. But my brain does that, and the habits are here, right? Number 3 habit, I'll say, is I'm super all about being in every conversation and being like loud about things, meaning like being a part of things. Oh, and the third said, I don't do cocaine. I just like the way it smells.
That's pretty good.
That's actually really funny. Someone say that. Number 3, I would say is like, I have a really hard time staying quiet when I want to say something. I have a really hard time not interrupting. And whatever the opposite of interrupting is, like being still. So I'm practicing as of 2 days ago when we talked about this topic, practicing all those things, breaking all those habits. So those are some of my habits. So everybody,
I'll go next.
Show, go ahead. I want to hear everybody's bad habits. What's yours, Quay?
One habit I didn't know that I did until recently is when I'm DJing with my mouth open and I look slow. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, no way.
It's like if I'm, looking for a song or if I'm like trying to cue something up, it's like
mouth is open.
I didn't notice that until I started watching some of the playbacks from
that ain't no habit.
It's a terrible habit. It looked crazy. Like and now I have it consciously on my mind that I do that. So I've been catching myself like, nope, close your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll be sitting there with it open. I got a bad procrastination habit.
Got it.
Because sometimes I have way more ideas than I have the action to put behind the ideas. So that's a terrible habit of starting stuff and then starting something else and then starting something else and then starting something else and then don't shit get finished because I just keep starting a whole bunch of shit. It's terrible habit.
Yeah.
Terrible.
What else you got? Since we're going 3 for 3, give me another one. What's another one? Third one. Another habit.
Dropping the ball. I got a habit of getting excited, getting excited about something, and then the excitement for it drops off. So you know what I'm saying? I'd like to have a healthy habit of keeping the excitement for something that I initially got excited about.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for saying that, Unique. Your turn, Cheese. Or actually, sorry, let's go, Kyung. Kyung, go for it. What do you got? 3 bad habits.
No, what are my habits? My habits.
Your bad habits, right? Unhealthy habits. That's the whole point of this whole conversation, right? So something that you know it's unhealthy for you, or I'll go cheese first while you think, but think about the things that and here's what it looks like, everybody, is what limits you to your full potential. I hate that fucking word potential because it's like a thing that we talk about all the time. Like, oh, what's your, I look forward to you seeing like your full potential. So the things that they've invented based on who you are, culture, society, traumas, past, whatever it is. So Cheese, 3 habits that stop you. Now, and I'm going to actually say your first one, Cheese. Getting angry at somebody. Your first one's getting angry at somebody who cut you off.
Absolutely. I was going to say that. One of my habits is really, really, really bad. Me getting upset so fast, right? Like reacting to something. Like when I'm driving, that's one of my main ones. I always have to say something. I'm always like throwing something out there that's negative. Like yesterday, I was driving and I'm doing the speed limit because I'm in this like nice little neighborhood and I'm doing the speed limit. It's like 25, right? And this car behind me is pissed that I'm obeying the law. So.
You're like, sir, you're like, sir, ma'am, I'm black. I have to obey.
Yeah, and he's tailgating me all the way, right? I mean, like, tailgate me. And then he gets on the side of me and speeds up to try to jump in front of me. And I'm not going to lie. I speed up to say, dude, you're not getting in front of me, bro. And he goes on the side of me, rolls his window down, and I get so pissed. But I see my son is in the back because I'm picking him up from summer camp. And I roll my window down, and I didn't curse. I go, what? He goes, what? I said, dude, you've been immature, dude. You know what you did. And then he throws the thumbs up. And I go, idiot, dude. And I just drove off.
But hold on, wait. You said what? He said what? He gave you a thumbs up? What's that? That's like an acknowledgement of actually taking responsibility. At least it occurred that way.
I think it was sarcastic.
And he was sarcastic.
Sarcastic thumbs up.
Absolutely. That's what he was doing. But to me, it's me. Why did I even roll my window down? Why did I get upset? Why did you give away your power, Cheese? Yeah.
You give away your power.
And I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just let him go around you?
Yeah, because
there you go.
Yeah, and that's
I'm hearing so much. I'm hearing one of your bad habits is being petty, giving away your power, allowing people to get under your skin. 3 things, right? And being reactive. I heard a 4th one. Being reactive to other people's things, right? Hey, what's happening? Hey, DJ, maybe it's so his coming home from work instead of exercising, right? So I'm gonna take that on. So exercise first because your well-being is more important than coming home from work, whatever work looks like, right? But for you, I'm gonna go back to you, Cheese. So you gotta get better about that, my friend.
I know. You're right. You're absolutely right.
This is a constant thing, like the road rage.
Constant.
But what is that about? And we'll deal with it later in the show. Let's sit in that conversation. We'll deal with it later.
Right.
All right, Kyon, go for it. Your 3 bad habits. Go.
All right, I would say main one probably procrastination. Even though I have plenty of time for whatever it is that I needed to do, I don't know why that screen might be on longer than it should. You know, when I should be getting ready. I mean, you know, I'd be watching something or be entertained or whatever. So try to make it on time a little bit early, but always last 5-10 minutes you're in a rushing when you didn't have to. The quick temper. I have very, very quick temper, even though it comes and it kind of goes, but still, it's reactive instead of responsive.
Okay.
You know, for me too, making excuses, having to explain, I think that's a little petty, especially to my kids when I'm driving and I say I do this and I do that. Or, just excuses. I have many excuses, I feel also. And I do swear when I...
So, Michelle Alfonso, dear friend of ours. Michelle, what's happening, chick? How are you? You swear way too much. Road rage. What are you swearing about? Like, what do you? So, for Cheese and you guys, why do you guys react to other people's actions? Why do you react to other people's actions?
It will be an excuse if I explain to you why. Because I know I shouldn't be doing that. You know what I mean? So
You know, it's a really good point. I don't react to people I don't know. Road rage, like on the road when people do certain things, I just want to be out of their way. I'll slow down, speed up, whatever is, move one lane over just so that I'm not around that. So that I don't think I've ever really had the road rage, but you know, but if I was to do something wrong that may have caused something like that, I may try to be like, oh, I did that because of da 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 da. I'm like, no, my mommy was wrong. Sometimes you have to just own up to it so that they understand it. Like, okay, maybe I can explain after I've said I was wrong, but you know, a lot of times it's like you're trying to explain your way out of it instead of just saying I was wrong.
Yeah, but isn't that so much work, Young? Isn't that so much work to like deal with that, KK? It's like, here's the deal, guys. We're gonna break all these habits today. We're gonna break all these habits. I'm gonna give you guys a bunch of things to deal with these habits, right? So, DJ MJ, great to see you, by the way. Buying a bunch of comic books and never reading them. That's hilarious. Sarcasm when arguing with the wife. Ooh, sarcasm. Ooh, that's a net. So wait, let's deal with that one real quick. So why is there sarcasm? Because underneath the sarcasm could be possibly, right? Not dealing with your responsibility in your relationship. Not dealing with what you're not doing, what you're not seeing, who you're not being, right? Dealing with the underneath of why and I call sarcasm and underneath it all, fuck you. That's what I call it. Because sarcasm is like, it's like I know, with like an edge or like you just said that already, or whatever it is, right? It's like that kind of energy. And at the same time, we are such suckers with an AS, with giving away our energy all the time. With road rage, with letting people get under our skin, with taking things personal, with making it mean something about us. So I'm going to start with this one tool. Here's one tool, and I gave it to a good friend of mine. For all my birthday people, including, we had a moment, unique about your birthday, right? Happy birthday again, right? It just passed, right?
Gracias.
Yes, and we talked about how we have to create new ways of being every year, right? We have to give. So here's what I gave to her yesterday. I said, let's create not giving away our power by getting triggered by stuff that has nothing to do with us. So taking zero personal is a way to break a habit, meaning taking nothing personal, being okay with the fact that that doesn't mean anything about you. So when something happens, somebody cuts you off, right, Cheese, or somebody gets in your way, or for me, I used to get so triggered being a Black, Hispanic, Dutch dude, right? I'd speak to my Spanish people in Spanish, and they'd be like, wow, your Spanish is really great. Where'd you learn it? And I'd be like, what the fuck? What do you mean? I'm fucking Panamanian. And they'd be like, and I used to say it like that, like really edgy. And now I'm like, now I make a joke called, depending on my mood, I'm like, I learned it from your mom. I say some shit like that. Not really, but sometimes I say that, right? Or I say some shit like, oh, they make us this color. They make us brown. Spanish people are brown. Actually, a lot of Spanish people are brown, right?
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
like a lot of Latin America is brown. It's that simple, right? So I used to take it so personal, like everything means something about me. So here's a bad habit number one we're going to break. Stop taking everything personal.
How do you retrain your brain for your first thought to be is that's not about me, when instinctually or historically you do think this is about me? So how do you train your brain to say like that wasn't about me?
You just said it. Dump your history. In every second, dump your history. So if somebody today walking out in the world said to me, oh, your Spanish is really great, where'd you learn it from? I'd be like, oh, that's awesome. Let me educate you. And so I'm from Panama, and in Central and South America, the Spaniards and Africans had a lot of sex like hundreds of years ago. And what happened is they landed in Panama and Colombia, and they went this way. They went south, and they went central, right? They went up, they went north, right? And then, so I would explain that versus making it mean like, wow, that person's digging at me or whatever. So letting go of the history, right, of how it's been for you. Letting go of that. That's an easy way to start. Letting go of what you think it means about you. People oftentimes are in their story, not your story. They're in their story, not in your, like your experience of being you, all of us, right? The experience of being me and my body and fucking loud as fuck and this guy, right? My friends don't know what it's like to be Shawn. My wife doesn't know what it's like to be me. I don't know what it's like to be her. For example, I asked her I asked my wife a bunch of cool shit, but I asked her one day, I'm like, hey, and my wife's Australian. For you guys who know, shout out to Shawn Antonio. She's the best woman ever invented. And I asked her, I'm like, hey, babe, because I've been racially profiled sometimes. And I said to her, hey, what is it like to be white? And she thought about it. And she said, I don't have to think about it. And I went, wow. Could you imagine not thinking about the color of your skin?
Yeah. Wow. That's a brain explosion.
That's deep.
That is deep.
She said, I don't have to think about it. And she looked at me and she was like really profoundly shifted by that question and went and dug deep for it, right? So reflecting back on the habit, right? If I walk around angry that people don't understand I'm fucking Spanish, if I walked around with an edge that like, fuck you, imagine my life. If I walked around being this life coach guy, right? Signing up clients, transforming the world, speaking 4 languages, imagine how my business would go if I honored people's opinion about me. If they had an opinion, right? Versus educating them, like my dad. Rest in peace, my father, Cecilio. He's been gone for about 7.5 months now. And my dad did this cool thing. And I never forget this. And this actually relates to habits. This woman, Rosa, and you were actually, Quay, you might remember her. She used to be the main flower woman for all the nightclubs in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So Rosa, named accurately, Rosa, her and her family, sisters, mom, grandmother, everybody, they sold roses at all the nightclubs all over Hollywood from 1999 when I first got here till, I guess now, I don't know. I haven't seen her in a couple years. So back in 2012, when Alicia and I got married, we have 9 years being married. Our anniversary this past couple Fridays ago. Yay, 9 years. Right. So she came to Red Rock, which is now State Social Club in West Hollywood. And one day she came and she was like, hey, she always called me Antonio. She never called me Shawn. She's like, hey, Antonio, ¿cómo estás? And I'm like, I'm great. And she's like, your Spanish is always so great. I'm like, yeah, because I'm Spanish. She goes, I didn't know that. I'm like, I've known you since 1999. You don't know I'm Spanish? She's like, no. I'm like, I'm Panamanian. She goes, what's Panama? I'm like, oh, wow, you actually don't know this. So my dad came over. I'm like, meet my father, Cecilio. You can't fuck that up. He's Spanish as fuck. His accent's heavy. I'm like, hey, Dad, meet Rosa. Rosa, Cecilio. We're like, hey, te quiero presentar a mi papá. Aquí está mi papá, Cecilio. Somos de Panamá. And she goes, cool. What does that mean? So Rosa and I and my dad talked for about 45 minutes about the education of the Spanish world. And how it all started. And Rosa just didn't know. She was actually defined as ignorant. Not in a bad way, but she's ignorant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? She's ignorant, right? So she's told us her story. She's like, I grew up in a small town in Mexico where I wore the same shoes until like 5th grade.
Wow.
So we were so poor, I didn't see anything else. We didn't have TV, we didn't have anything. So she's like, I didn't know, besides my small town, I didn't know other people of other colors and races. Like I have Korean Spanish friends who were born in Panama and their family came from Korea, but they're Korean they're from Panama. But they're like, so it doesn't. So breaking all those stereotypes and the things and the habits, right? So again, to reflect on the whole thing is stop taking everything personal. It's only personal when it's about you and you did something that fucked it up, right? If you drop that ball, as you said earlier, Unique, when you drop the ball, why are you carrying so many balls? I tell him,
sorry, I'm immature.
Like, stop. I know, like, I'm doing like this. Right?
I know why he did.
That was very sexual, very sexual. But why are we carrying so many balls? Right?
Yeah.
I don't. I can only juggle the balls I can juggle. I juggle as many balls as I'm able to. It's accepting your strengths and your weaknesses, right? It's accepting who you truly are and accepting who you're truly not. That's a big one. Accepting who you are and who you're not. Huge. So you got to get present to whatever habits you put in the way that are stopping you from living at your full potential. Seriously, like that's number one. So I'm gonna go for a number 2 tip. Did you guys take that all in? Everybody take it in? You got that?
Yeah, and then a quick like intermission, not intermission, but a digression from what Alicia said about she doesn't even have to think about being white.
Dude.
What do you think it would be like if we got rid of the narrative that we had to think about being black?
Wow.
Because
Dude.
I think it's a narrative that's being pushed all the time to have everybody be segregated, to have you try to think about how you feel like you're being, treated wrong. Because a lot of times I might have missed things that were happening to me because I'm black, because I'd never thought about like, oh, I'm black, so this is happening to me and that's happened to me.
Yeah.
Like, I never walked around like that.
Yeah.
I never thought about it.
So I love that, right? And I know that in America, that narrative is being pushed. It's been pushed since day one, right?
Yeah.
Everywhere else in the world, I'm just Shawn. That's it.
Word.
I'm not a black guy. I'm just Shawn. So I'll give you 2 examples that happened to me. One, I got pulled over back in 2005. I bought my first big boy car. I bought my Audi, 2005 Audi S4. It was fucking $54,000. It was fucking cobalt blue. It was gorgeous, right? I got pulled over in West Hollywood in Santa Monica and La Cienega. And I ran a red light by mistake. I was going a little bit it was an intersection. I went too fast, blah, blah, blah. But still doing speed limit. I get pulled over, and the officer pulls me over. And the first question, first of all, I had my license registration in my hand because I know I got pulled over, right? And the first question out of his mouth was, "Is this your car?"
Wow.
And I was like, I didn't know how to answer it. I was so caught off guard. He says, "Is this your car?" And I said, "Yeah, yes, officer, this is my car." He goes, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think I ran that red light back there." And he goes, "Oh," because I guess he expected a different answer. I was like, "Yeah, I think I ran the red light." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And I was just like so thrown off by being black in a nice car, right?
Word.
Number one. Number two, St. Martin, 2014, Alicia and I renew our vows for the second time, right? And we're going to this because we owned timeshare back then with Diamond Resorts. And we, dude, we're getting in this sunset cruise for owners of time resorts, right? And they invited us to go on this catamaran, and it's open bar. Catamaran, open bar, sunset. Bad, all bad, all bad. Open bar, sunset, catamaran, St. Martin, all of it, right? So we go this, and we're all dressed up. We look great. Me, Alicia, a bunch of friends, right? And this woman, this white woman with a Southern accent, said, "Excuse me, can you help me with this?" And I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "You work here. Like, can you help me with this?" I'm like, "Do I look like I work here?" Because I was dressed like a fucking hipster, fucking from Eagle Rock or some shit. And
Word.
she said, "Can you help me?" And she was like, "Can you get my bags?" And I was like, "What is she talking to me?" I was like, and my wife got so like, Alicia was just like, "What?" And then my friend Wendy got pissed. Wendy's a badass. She's from Sinaloa, Mexico. Wendy, she's a fucking monster. She's like, "That fucking woman just racially profiled you?" I'm like, "I don't know. Did she?" She's like, "Yeah." And then further on in the catamaran, she said some other shit like, "Oh, I knew you worked here." Why she said that? Because I was talking to the guy who ran the whole thing. I was just talking to him.
Word.
That's it. We were just talking. And she goes, "Well, I knew you worked here." Now, and I didn't even have it in me to say anything. First of all,
Word.
at that point in time, I had a couple drinks. So I was just like, "Oh, wow." So I got being black was a thing in that moment when I was just living my life.
Word.
It was fucking crazy. So you know what? Let's break that habit. Since you brought it up, right, Unique? Let's break the habit of being a color. Being put in, segregated by your color, by being Korean, by being black, by being Hispanic, by being fucking whatever you are, by being Arab, right? Like I have friends who, shout out to Khalid Shakhtar, one of my dear friends. Every time he goes to the airport, he kind of gets stopped because he looks like a terrorist, according to him. And so they stop him. Like, what the fuck's that about? Like, the habit we have to break is, as my dad said, people see with their eyes, not with their heart. People see with their eyes, not with their heart. What the fuck's that about, man?
Mm-hmm.
What happened to us as a society? What happened to us as human? Like, what happened, everyone? That's crazy to me. To me, it's fucking crazy. Like, I don't understand that. Why we have these habits of judging. That's another big habit. I'm going to throw that out there right now. We judge everything. Why? We judge because we are inadequate. Or we tell ourselves we're inadequate. We tell ourselves we're not rich enough, not pretty enough, not good looking enough, not all that stuff, right? So, and yeah, by the way, yes, giving away your energy and a third, right? Giving away your energy, it applies to racism. Why would you enjoy or allow yourself to plug into a racist conversation?
Word.
Why would you?
Just to get emotionally affected by it and ruin your day because of somebody's ignorance. Yeah.
Why would you do that? Well, it's one of my favorite quotes. I think I might have said this before in the show. Is like, did you have a bad day, or was it a bad 5 minutes that you milked all day?
Word.
Did you have a bad day? Is it really a bad day, or was it a bad 1, 2, 3 minutes where you're just like, oh, that thing happened, that person cut me off, right? And then you gave your energy consistently to that. Why would you do that to yourself?
And that's with the racism also, like, you don't have to take racism personally. If somebody says that this is da-da-da-da-da, and you know for a fact that that's not you, why are you carrying around what they said about you? It's like, that's not me. So I'm not, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah. Okay, so I'm going to address another one because this is a very popular topic. Procrastination. Procrastination, in my experience of being a life coach for the past 10 years, August will be 10 years I've been coaching.
Don't know.
I'm so fucking stoked, right? So I'm gonna throw like a life coaching party one day. Fuck it, right? So what I've heard about procrastination is that, and I, by the way, former CEO of the Procrastination Club. This guy, I used to be super procrastinatory. I made the word up. I'm in, right? So procrastination is us not using our skills and talents to be exactly who we're meant to be. I'll say it again. Procrastination is us not using our skills and talents to be exactly who we were born to be. It's us holding back and cheating the world of our gifts, right? So if you have things you can do, remove the excuses, because we can always find excuses to not be who we're truly meant to be. We can always make up stories or limitations like this thing happened, the infamous my dog ate my homework as a kid, right? Or I didn't do it because, right? So everything after but or because is always an excuse. So procrastination is us not living in our true potential. Right?
So is there an exercise to be able to do that? Is it like a cold turkey? Like I notice I'm procrastinating right now. Get up, do it. Or is there an exercise that you can do to be like, let me build this up so I can.
100%. I call it the 5 whys. In psychology, in world psychology, obviously as a life coach, I studied a lot of psychology. I'm not a shrink, but I did a lot of work that shrinks do and therapists do. Right? So they have an exercise called the 3 whys. I invented the 5 whys. I gave it 5. So you ask yourself 5 times why. For example, if you had, let's just say exercise, because that came up earlier on. So, for example, why don't you exercise, right? So MJ, right? MJ Beats. I'll say, why don't you exercise? Well, you know, here's me talking to him, right? He'd be like, well, Shawn, I had a big day at work. It was really stressful. I'm exhausted. Cool. Why are you exhausted? Why are you stressed out? Why that happened? Well, Shawn, you don't understand. My job takes a lot of mental, aptitude and blah, 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 right? Okay. So why do you give your energy away to that? Well, Shawn, it's my job. I'm like, well, is your job your purpose? My question, right? No, it's not my purpose. It's just a job because it provides for my family. Cool. So why aren't you living the truth of what you really want? Like the 5 whys will get you to why you're actually lying to yourself. Mm-hmm. We lie to ourselves of our actual potential because it's a lot of responsibility being great all the time. It really fucking is. Like, being this energized at 10:31 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, this is how I am every day. That's why when I go to bed, I'm exhausted. And every once in a while, I kind of mellow out to like meet my client's energy. But naturally, this is how I am. This is just how I am. I wake up like this, right? So we make excuses and we procrastinate because we don't want to be responsible for having everything we said we wanted. All of the money, the relationship of our dreams, our bucket list being like, I've never met anybody who'd say to me in all the years coaching, and even before that when I was training to be a life coach, I've asked people like, hey, what's your bucket list look like? And they're like, I'm like, cool. Have you done any of them? They're like, yeah, I've done 1, 2. I'm like 3, 4. I'm like, cool. So you've done 4 out of your 68 bucket list items. What are you waiting for? What the fuck are you waiting for? What are we waiting for, right? I've never met anybody who's like, Shawn, I did my entire bucket list. Never. But we keep making excuses and procrastinating. And here's another side note to procrastination. You got to ask yourself, besides the 5 whys, that's the tool, right? So ask yourself the 5 whys. That's one tool. Here's number 2 tool about procrastination is ask yourself, is your heart really in it? When you commit to something, is your heart really in it? Do you really want to do that thing? Or, have that conversation or have that job, right? You got to ask yourself that. Like, ask yourself, why are you doing that thing? Why are you going to that party that you want to go to? Why are you talking to that person that you really don't like? Why are you pretending? Why are you pretending? And we often do that to ourselves. We put ourselves in scenarios that set us up to be justified in why we procrastinate. Like for me, my house, if I showed you guys my house on camera right now, you'd be like, fuck, that guy's house is fucking clean. Shawn's house is like, fuck, I don't procrastinate. My house is always on point, always clean. No procrastination. I always take care of me. I take care of my heart, my soul, my body, my energy. I protect my energy. When I say protect, I give it away, obviously, right? On the show, I give away all my energy, but I'm still managing who I am. We got to stop making excuses for why we're not being who we're meant to be. Period. Like a period at the end of that sentence. Exclamation point, actually. Like we gotta step up. And as we said last show, coming out of this pandemic, who the fuck are we gonna be? Who are we gonna be, right? We gotta be better. I already seen this past month since I saw you guys last, right? This past month of being out in the world, I've already seen some shitty behaviors. Some like privileged conversations, some expectations unfulfilled, people taking things for granted. I'm like, hey guys, you remember that pandemic thing that we're still in? Like, what the fuck happened to us? We're still in that thing. I don't understand. Humanity gets so comfortable with not being great. What's that about? That's another show, but that's a really big inquiry for me. So you guys, I'm going to go back to it. So 2 tools for procrastination, right? Deal with that shitty habit is ask yourself the 5 whys. And then ask yourself, is your heart really into it? Those 2 things. And if your heart's really into it, then fucking do it. If it's not, don't fucking do it. Just be like, no.
What if it's something that it doesn't matter if your heart is in it or not? It still needs to get done. Like, some people like taking the trash out or whatever. Like,
yeah, if it's an accountability, just do it. It's your accountability. Like my wife and I, we became keto-tarians, keto and vegetarian mixed. It's a fucking awesome way to live. That's why I'm in great shape. That's why she's in great shape, right? And it's expensive to be keto-tarian. I'll say that. Number 2, it garners a lot of dishes. So me coaching all day, I'm on the phone all day today till about 6 p.m. on the phone, like blah coaching. So and I'm so grateful. Thank you, universe, for my job, my purpose, all that, right? But the minute I get out of work and I'm done, I meditate, I vibrate down, I release all the energy I collected all day, right? And I get centered, I remove the glasses, the hat, I get in my Shawn mind, like my Shawn husband, father mode. I go out there and the dishes are like this high. They're fucking high. I love doing dishes and it's my accountability. But it used to trigger me like, what the fuck? Like, why do I have to do so many dishes, right? So I go out there. And here's what I started doing. At first, I used to kind of complain. And when I say complain, I used to physically complain. I'd go out and be like, or I'd do some like thing, right? And it was annoying for me and annoying for Alicia and Viva, my daughter and wife. And they're like, why are you like angry? I'm like, because I work all day and I provide and fucking dishes. Got over that. Gave up that story. I realized, how cool is it that I get to like take care of my family? So what I do is I put on my JBL speaker, and I put on Bossa Nova music or fucking Bruno Mars station or Jamiroquai station, and I put it to a certain volume right next to the dishes. I play that. I kiss my wife and daughter and say, hey guys, I'm done with work today. Crushed it. Great day today. Awesome. Love you guys. I'm just going to wash dishes. I put on music to where I can still hear them. I listen to whatever fucking song's coming on, and I wash dishes. I'm like, it's like dance. And it's fucking awesome. So it's about shifting how you view your accountabilities. We all have accountabilities and responsibilities in life. We all do. Guys, I have a lot of responsibilities. Like being a life coach, like all this stuff I do with you guys every time, there's a lot behind the curtain. Like a lot of things I do for my business, it's grunt work. Like creating my social media stuff, talking to people, booking my stuff, doing motivational speaking stuff, writing my books, curating my books. You know, it's a lot of work and like behind it all, right? But I love what I do, and I have to start embracing, like, this is me living my true purpose, right? And when you get in the way of yourself, that's when you get annoyed.
Yeah.
And I'll say it again. When you get in the way of yourself and your accountabilities, you just have certain things to do. For me, I just run towards them. I'm like, all right, take out the trash, wash the dishes, sweep the floor, do what you got to do. Like, whatever it is, right? Cook. I love to cook.
If I could throw something in about procrastination, something that when I procrastinate and then when I finally do the thing that I procrastinated about, sometimes I get upset at myself. It's because of like, you got to do this anyway. So why did you put off, you know what I'm saying? And then when you put it off and you have to do it later, now it's more work than if you would have just did it originally. Totally. So even like going to the gym, like, you know, getting out, it's like once I start getting back in the habit of going to the gym, it's like, why did I let myself go so much this whole time? I could have just been maintaining it. But now each time I'm procrastinating it, now I got to put it back together. So just to throw out there, like, it's to not procrastinate for things that you have to do anyway. And I make it more work for yourself later when you can just get it done now.
Just fucking do it. My thing is do everything in the moment. That's one of my mantras for my life. Do everything in the moment. If you get asked to do something, stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin. That's kidding. So stop what you're doing and do that thing. Like, one of the reasons why my relationship is so amazing with my wife is because when she asks me to do something, I literally go, I stop, because I have the memory of an elephant. I can stop and remember what I'm doing and go, all right, do that.
Word.
And go do it. Right? She's like, hey, Shawnee, I need this thing done. I'm like, all right, cool, babe. What? Okay, cool. How do you want it done? And she tells me, I go do it. She's fulfilled. I'm happy. I go back to my thing. That's it. Right? So procrastination gets in the way of how we are. By the way, everybody watching, please throw out what you're struggling with as far as your bad habits. Like, let's.
I remember Michelle said hers was using a profanity. So what can she do if she wants to not use so much profanity?
First of all, Michelle, text me, call me. I fucking love you. I've known you for 18 years, maybe longer. So Michelle, pick up a fucking dictionary. Learn new words. Learn new words to get your energy out, right? And or own the fact that you swear. I would say shift the words. Like, I know a bunch of words in 4 different languages, a bunch of them. And I use profanity on purpose, right? So maybe, when we use profanity, there's a lack of us having a word that expresses our emotion. Because oftentimes, profanity comes from a place of emotion. Oftentimes. Not all the time, but oftentimes we're just like, motherfucker, like, fuck shit. All that's fueled, right? It's fueled, right? Cheese, I know you do that all the time. You're like, fuck, you cut me off! Fuck shit out!
Sure it's a little more gangster than that, though.
I'm sure you're way more gangster. Like, yo, whoa.
No, that's violent.
That's violent. I went violent. My apologies. It's violent. I apologize. But no, the point of that is that profanity is usually fueled. Like, profanity for me is either fueled or a joke. For me, when I say profanity, I'm like, man, that's fucking funny, right? Or like, fuck you, right? It's usually fueled by an emotion. So let's pick up a dictionary. Michelle, my dad, I know I'm quoting my dad a lot this show because I fucking miss him, right? But my dad had a dictionary, and every day he picked up the dictionary, and he started from A to Z. What he did, I think Jay-Z and Eminem, and I think Biggie as well did this. They picked up a dictionary every day. My dad would pick this up. In 1984, I was 10 years old. He said, son, look at my my glove compartment. My dad was a big Volvo fan. He had Volvos. He loved Volvos for some reason. He just loved the durability and the sustainability. He loved that. So I looked in his glove compartment, and he had a dictionary. And I said, Dad, why do you have a dictionary? He goes, because every day I want to learn a new word to express myself. I went, oh, cool. So what he did is he took a word from an A, and then the next day B and C, and like so on, right? And he'd take a word like abacus, and that's a really random word, right? And he would practice using that word 10 times in a sentence throughout the day. So his vernacular, his nomenclature, his speech, right, his vocabulary could expand. So what the fork? I'd be Christian MJ. That's hilarious.
Malcolm X famously also did that, learned the dictionary. Okay,
cool. Yeah. So I say, and Michelle, underneath that, deal with the emotion that you're not looking at that is fueling you cursing. Look at the emotion that's behind it and the incompletion of whatever is underneath that you haven't dealt with. Whatever that is for you. Like, anytime I want to freak out or curse or anything like that, I stop myself and go, Shawn, what's that about? What did you not do or deal with? You know? What did you not do or deal with about yourself, right? Or what are you saying about yourself? So here's what life looks like. Life is about a series of moments where you have to deal with yourself. It's a series of moments where you have to deal with yourself. Your shortcomings, where you're rock and roll, where you're not kicking ass, where you suck, where you're amazing. Like, that's what life looks like, is dealing with who you truly are in life. And if you're not being really authentic and real and honest with yourself, the fuck are you doing? We have to wake up. We have to wake up, guys. All of us, right? Where are we sucking at life? What habits are we putting in the way as excuses to not live out loud? One of my tattoos says live out loud. It says live out loud, right? Boom, boom, boom. Live out loud. because it's about living life at your fullest potential. I've had that tattoo on my arm since 2006. Like, it's about living in your true potentiality. It's about getting rid of those habits that are self-sabotaging. They're self-sabotaging. We, every day, all day, sabotage ourselves. Every day, all day.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Also, one of the ones that that my brother Mark or MJ Beach touched on was saying how he buys the comic books and he never reads them is a bad habit. I kind of compare that to like starting things that don't and not finishing them. So if we can touch on that a little bit.
Yeah.
As
So,
breaking that habit.
question. So, Mark, great to see you again, by the way. Mark, thanks for being on the show every time. So why do you start it? Let's go there.
Or why does he buy them and not read them?
No, you. I'm gonna talk to you, Unique. Why do you start things? So give me something, right?
Because I have amazing ideas. I'm like, it would be awesome if that happened.
Okay, so then do you go to KK and say, hey, let's flesh this shit out? Let's talk about it, flesh it out, see it can be reality. Do you go to her and say that?
Not all the time, no.
No, okay. So do that.
Well,
right?
well, almost because she's to a point where she's tired of hearing me because I start too much. It's too much. So it's like how
So
I wouldn't want to hear it either. Like something else. When did you finish that?
So stop saying you start too much. We all have certain gifts. We can all start whatever we want to start, but let's finish it. So start the idea, right? And then flesh it out and then deal with it. And if it's real, make it real. If it's not, throw it away. So start the thing, right? And look at it and see if it can be real. And if it's not able to be real, throw it away and start something new. But finish the whole thing. Walk through the whole valley, right? Climb the entire hill, and or let it go, right? I don't believe in the word too much when it comes to ideas. I actually don't, because we're all the things that come through our mind, whatever religion or spirituality people are on the show, you guys are, is everything we get in our brains. It's a gift from the gods. It's somebody said it, we got it. They downloaded it to our brain, as my friend Megan says. She goes, the spirit downloaded something into my brain and I have to tell the story, right? So if you have all these ideas, make them real. See what happens. Because they need the world. All of us out here, we need what you have. In your brain, we need it. You think Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, Mahatma Gandhi, I mean, I can go forever, right? You think all those people, they probably struggle with their humanity, but they did a thing. And they're doing things, right? Like Jeff Bezos. I love what he's done. I said this yesterday. Imagine throughout the pandemic if Jeff Bezos didn't exist. As far as Amazon, Amazon.
Wow,
dude! Imagine throughout the pandemic how it would have been for us if Amazon, the company, did not exist.
Word.
Imagine if Jeff Bezos' habits of like not believing in himself, right? Like say Jeff Bezos back in 1999, 1988, that infamous picture with him sitting in his office, balding hair with the Amazon.com thing on his, and he was like typing away, right? Imagine if he's like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna get a better job. Imagine if he said that, right? Yeah. And didn't believe in himself and pushed through, right? Dude, imagine us during the pandemic without Amazon. Dude, Amazon's on my door almost every day. Seriously, like I'm very grateful for the opportunity to afford that. But imagine if we didn't have that. Imagine that guy's habits of like being late, not checking in on his employees, being an asshole, like whatever it was, right? Imagine if that didn't exist, man. We got to break all of our shitty habits. We do. We got to stop telling ourselves we can't. We got to shut that voice down in our heads about what we're making up stories about. So for you, Unique, about coming with all these too much ideas, not too much. Talk it out with KK. She's fucking awesome. Go to her and say, hey, KK, I got this great idea. I want to build a fucking circus in Paris. Let's talk about it and work it out. I made it up, right? So talk it out and go, cool. So what do we have to do that? Okay, so circus. Let me look at Barnum and Bailey. Like, what do they do? Okay, cool. Research. Okay, Paris. Let's go to Paris. Cool. Who do we have to do? And then look it out and then see how much does it cost. Investors. Oh, you know what? I don't want to really do that. Let's stop. Go. Move on. Or make it real, right? So that's it. It just takes tenacity and resilience. One of my favorite words lately is resilience. Being resilient. Like not stopping, not giving up on yourself and your ideas, not giving up on what you said you want to do, not giving up on why you're fucking here. Why are we all here? We all exist for a reason. All the things that happen at us are for us to give away. Like right now, I'm just channeling. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just channeling. I'm just saying what needs to be said because I'm in a flow. When you're in your flow, it exists because you are that person. And what you're born to do and the habits that you've created that stop you, those are limiting conversations that culture, society, trauma, past, being black, whatever, right? We put in the way of our dreams. Dreams are meant to come true. They actually are. They're just manifestations. They're like prophecies that get given to us at an age. And our job as humans is to actualize it and realize it. That's it. That's it. And make a difference for the world. That's it. So whatever ideas you have, and Quay, you and I have had so many beautiful conversations. You have brilliant ideas like, and I'll say it, Hot Lunch Worldwide. Shout out to Hot Lunch. Hot Lunch Worldwide. Dude, that needs to happen now. We need to have an army of DJs around the world that are doing Hot Lunch today. Whatever stopped you from that, that's your fault. You. I'll put right at you. So all we need to do is figure out what the fuck that looks like and sit down and go, okay, Hot Lunch, Los Angeles, Miami, Dubai, Spain, fucking Madrid, wherever the fuck we're going, right? Ibiza, right? Let's do Hot Lunch Worldwide. Whatever's that limiting conversation you have in the way, or whatever you need to reorganize your life with dropping balls, let's stop dropping balls. Let's talk about what it's going to cost to put Hot Lunch into reality as a brand. You know what I'm saying? Let's get an LLC going. Let's talk to DJs we know. Let's reach out to the biggest DJs in the world, enroll them, Tiesto, fucking Diplo, all of them, and fucking Aoki. Hey, yo, I got this thing called Hot Lunch. Can you be one of my DJs? This is what it looks like. It's really that fucking simple. Word. It really is, right? And there's a bunch of investors, trillionaires, quadrillionaires, billionaires, waiting for an investment like this that not only pays off, right? Not only pays off, but actually is a thing. I want to be at Hot Lunch tomorrow in Ibiza. I do. Or in St. Martin, or in fucking Aruba. I want to do that. We're fucking members, and they represent the Hot Lunch brand, right? That's it. They get paid their deal. It's a thing. A fucking food company sponsoring it. Like it's so simple. It's so simple. That DJ's talking DJing, right? Like emceeing and DJing, right? Then in the middle of it, Aoki, instead of fucking doing champagne sprays, he's eating a fucking sandwich from Subway. And he's like, fuck Jared. Fuck that guy. I'm fucking Aoki. Like, you know, like I'm saying, like it could be that big. I'm like, and I know you haven't talked about this, but I'm gonna flow about this. We can do that, dude. We can do that. And you know what you can do? Never DJ again. You can just sit back and make billions of dollars with your brands because you created this thing called Hot Lunch out of a pandemic. Out of a pandemic, you created this thing that's built up to be an amazing thing, right? On Twitch, right? And it's crushing it. Shout out to Twitch, right? It could be that simple. You'll never have to think about money ever again. Imagine that thought. And I'll say this, and I'm going to say this last thing, and then I want to hear one more habit from people, is one of my friends, Faber Kelly. Faber Kelly's a badass. He's a huge VIP host in Vegas. I love that guy. He's always taking care of me. And Faber saw Steve Wynn, Bill Gates, and somebody else that's like iconic sitting at a table. And he's like, Kokorian, Greg Kokorian, the owner of all the MGM resorts. They were sitting at a table in the wind talking. And he was like, what the fuck are they talking about? Because those guys are billionaires, right? Like imagine if money wasn't a concept for you. You never had to think about money. You're private jets and houses all over the world. What would you talk about?
They talk about them hoes. I'm just kidding.
They like to smell the cocaine. They like to smell it. Smells good. It's good lunch. They didn't order anything. Why is there some white powder on the table? Right? But yeah, and I saw Dave Grohl and Gene Simmons one day talking at the House of Blues in Vegas. And I used to work at the House of Blues in Vegas. And I saw during the VH1 Rock Honors, I saw Dave Grohl and Gene Simmons. And I know Gene Simmons. He's an acquaintance, not a good friend, but I was like, Gene. So Gene, they were talking. I'm like, what are those two fucking monsters of rock talking about?
Word.
What are those guys talking about? Like, you know, so
I had one moment like that. I was DJing a Transformer party. Michael Bay, Steven Spielberg, and it was like two other people. They were all standing at a party, and they were all. And now I'm wondering what were they talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? These are Gigantic.
Yeah.
And they're just standing there shooting the shit. I'm like, yeah, I wonder what they were talking about.
Yep. Totally.
I remember walking up to that conversation too and be like, do you guys want me to change the music or anything like that? Oh no, it's fine the way it is, blah blah blah. I was like, oh, okay.
Wow.
I was like, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a great fucking story. So guys, I'm gonna end the show with a couple things because we got like about 5 minutes left. So a couple things. With your habits, whatever your bad habits are, write them down. Write down your bad habits, right? And figure out why you're doing it. Ask yourself the 5 whys, right? And figure out why there might be and I have a book that I love. I've shared this with you guys before from Gary John Bishop called Stop Doing That Shit. Mm-hmm. How to End Your Self-Sabotage. It's a great book. It's a quick read. And we talk, and in the book, he talks about his mentor who mentored him and how he talks. He's fucking brash as fuck. I love this guy. He curses like a sailor. Michelle Alfonso, you'll love him. He curses like a fucking badass. So the point of that is that you look at all the bad habits that you have and ask yourself why you're putting those bad habits in your life. Like, why are you limiting yourself, right? Like for you, Cheese, this is the last time I want to hear about you getting triggered by somebody cutting you off. Just drive better, dude. Be present. Don't take it personal. Drive better, be present. Don't take it personal. Drive better, be present. Don't take it personal. That's it. They're doing their thing. Has nothing to do with you. You do your thing. You drive. Be a great driver. Don't be an asshole, right? Don't be an asshole. Behind the wheel. Drive the speed limit. Do your thing. Don't worry about people's stuff. You have no idea what that person's going through. You have no idea what that person's going through. So you don't know what it's like to be him or her. So just do you, right? Right. So all the bad habits you're dealing with, ask yourself on this piece of paper why you have those bad habits in place and why they exist for you. And then if you have to deal with the trauma behind it, call me. I'll coach your ass. I'll get you through it. I'll get you through the trauma, right? But look at yourself in the mirror. Have the willingness and the accountability to look at yourself and say why and deal with that. And ask yourself where you're not being true to who you are. And ask yourself, what's your fucking purpose for being on this planet? Like, why are you breathing? Why are you breathing? And why are so many people dying today and yesterday and the day before, right? Like, ask yourself that really real mortal question. Every time I lose somebody, and coming from nightlife and now life coaching, I know millions of people. So every couple of weeks, somebody I love dies. It's just what happens, right? So for me, I do an internal check and see, Shawn, where are you not being your best? Where are you not crushing life? Where are you not stepping up? Where are you not being 100%? One of my goals this month, I have it on my board. My wife and I put a board together every month and we put our goals for the month. One of mine is doing everything the way it's supposed to be done with full integrity. I'll say it even simpler. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. That's a quote from Grace Lever. She's a fucking super badass motivational speaker, author, and life coach out in Australia. And Grace Lever said that the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. The way you fuck is the way you live your life. The way you drive is the way you live your life. The way you fucking, go to work is the way you live your life. Like the way you exercise. Like I exercise. People hate working out with me. I fucking kill people at workouts. They're like, Shawn, I can't keep up. I'm like, yep, that's what's going to happen. They're like, to have the body you want, you got to fucking do the work. To have the life you want, you have to do the fucking work. We all have to do the work, right? We all have to. So break your bad habits now. Everybody. I'm going to plug myself right now. Shameless plug. Follow me on Instagram at Shawn Antonio Life Coaching. I'm building it. I'm bringing it. I have a bunch of people I'm coaching worldwide that are helping me propel it, right? And it's starting to really get some legs. You can find me on my website, ShawnAntonio.com, ShawnAntonio.com. You can email me. I have 2 spots available, and then I'm starting a waiting list, which is my second time in my career starting a waiting list. I'm so excited. That's me living at my full potential, right? Like having a full slate where I have no other space for people. So ask yourself, where are you not living full out? Where are you making excuses for yourself? Where are you procrastinating? Where are you, and this is a big one, lying to yourself? Where are you lying to yourself or blaming others for your experience of life? Heard that? Where are you fucking blaming others for your experience of life? It's not on them, it's on you. Right. Christy, thank you for the love. Thank you. Next month, let's commit right now. Next month, what are we doing? Next month, right? August. What's the first Friday in August?
First Friday in August is
First
the
Friday in
6th.
August
August 6th.
August 6th. That's my brother's birthday. He'll be 42. So yeah, August 6th. Game on, guys. August 6th.
So,
do me a favor, guys. Come up with something you want me to talk about. August 6th. I'll bring it. I'll fucking flesh it out, make it amazing like that. So August 6th, we're gonna do it. And for the next, what's the 5 whys? What were the 5 whys? Ask yourself the 5 whys 5 times. What that means is ask yourself the question of why something is triggering you, upsetting you, whatever, procrastinating, excuses. Ask yourself the why. That's the 5 whys. So by the time you get to the 4th or 5th, is usually where you find the answer. But you got to be honest with yourself. Again, don't lie to yourself. We lie to ourselves. And then we don't tell anybody. So nobody can hold us accountable. We're assholes like that. We're assholes like that. So, guys, thank you so much for my love for this day. You guys rock. Great to be with you guys.
Thank you, Mr. Antonio.
Thank you, brother.
4th of July to everybody out there in America and worldwide. So great to be with you guys. And you Cheese,
Thank you.
stop fucking with people.
That's right, brother. I got you.
Sean, do me a favor real quick before you get out of here.
Yes,
Take
sir.
your glasses off again.
Yes.
You look like Juan Valdez. That the bean guy, the one that it be standing there with the mule.
Colombia?
Yeah.
He do though.
Yeah.
He do.
That's amazing. I guess that was my intention. I don't know.
Word.
Great to be
Yeah.
with you guys. You guys rock. I love you
Everybody
all.
have a great
Thank you.
Independence Day weekend. Thank you so
Great
much,
show.
Mr. Shawn
Thank you, Big
Antonio.
Sean.
Thank
I always
you,
look
man.
forward to the first Fridays. Thank you so much, sir.
Sir. See you guys.
Mr. Cheese, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Love, peace, and happiness. And thank you, guys. Excellent show. I feel better, brother.
Don't you always have, like, when Sean leaves the room, like, yeah. Miss KK, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Thank you. Great show. Great words. What a way to finish the show with Shawn Antonio. That's awesome. Thank you, everybody, for continuing to stay safe. And please return back to us next week. We look forward to it.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you, Cheese. Thank you, KK. Everybody in the comments, thank you guys so much. Be sure to share with a friend. Share with a friend. We'll see you next Friday for the Unique and Cheese Show, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. on Fridays, 12 noon on the East Coast. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next